as chair, I'll take responsibility for any negative consequences, but I think I'd like to have 5 minutes donated to Whittemore to come up and give it. So if you could, if she's here, did she leave? Oh, please. And you're coming up to answer the question that Daniel could not answer, and that's fine. That's how I'm handling. Come on up.
I will time you for 5 minutes, as we do for public comment, and give you a 1-minute warning.
Thank you.
Okay.
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank you all for giving me the opportunity to speak to you this morning on behalf of the Whittemore Peterson Institute, and more importantly, on behalf of my family. As many of you are aware, I am the founder and president of this institute and the mother of a beautiful adult daughter who's been ill for 20 years in spite of our best efforts to find a cure. The good news today is that all of you that have suffered from a serious and debilitating disease of unknown origin now have the attention of the government and the world. They've been given an important piece of the puzzle that cannot be ignored: a retrovirus named XMRV. As you've just heard from Dr. Peterson's talk, it is a retrovirus that is actively replicating in the blood of 2/3 of the patients and actually showing up in over 90% in the antibody positive tests. Active infections are not common viruses to humans, and retroviruses, excuse me, are not common viruses to humans like EBV and HHV6. Once you become infected with a virus like this, it does last for life, and it may cause serious disease characterized by chronic inflammation, neurological deficits, and immune system dysfunction, very similar to what we see in CFS. Finding an active retrovirus in the blood of humans cannot be ignored or taken lightly. In fact, it is so extraordinary that immunologists and virologists from around the world have eagerly requested more information for Dr. Mikovits and her team. And today, actually, the reason she is not here is she has been invited to do ground rounds at the Hematology Oncology Division of the University of Florida. Thanks to the work of scientists in the HIV field, there are many who have the expert training, technology, and experience needed to learn more about how XMRV impacts those who have become infected. How does this finding change the world of chronic fatigue syndrome? Number one, it ends the debate. CFS is not and never was a psychological disorder. Those who are ill have always known this. The physicians who take care of them have always known this. And now finally, those who have attempted to keep patients from receiving medical care for this disease know this. Number two, this finding demands serious attention. Attention to in the form of research funding. Just as our government has responded to the threat of HIV and other serious emerging infectious agents, this finding demands significant and responsible action from our national health agencies. The response, however, must be coordinated, directed, and integrated between NIH institutions and outside researchers. The WPI began this work a little more than 2 years ago, and it continues today, but we must have more help to do the work that is necessary to do it as quickly and as thoroughly as possible. Patients deserve to know if they are infected and to be offered effective treatments that will stop the progression of their disease. I would hope that today we can all speak in one voice, whether we're physicians, parents, advocates, patients, even this committee, to support this very, very important work. I would encourage those of you in the audience, patients in the audience, and those that are following online, that you make your voices heard by writing to your congressman, your senators, the president, and the vice president, and don't stop until we find the answers. I believe the
1
research
minute.
funding this disease must be equal to that of other serious emerging infectious diseases. That perhaps we should ask for a congressional hearing to describe the roadblocks that have existed to the discovery of this disease, to the roadblocks that have existed preventing the discovery of the cause, biological markers, and effective treatments in this disease. This failure, we cannot afford to ever have this failure repeated again. X-associated neuroimmune disease is not a woman's disease. This disease must be addressed by the NIAID and the NCI and any other institution at the National Institutes of Health that it impacts. CFS research review committees must be organized around scientists with the ability to review grants that involve immunology and virology to
5
allow
minutes
the
are up.
appropriate studies to go forward.
Please wrap up.
Thank you so much. And may I dedicate this talk to those who unfortunately are not with us today because they passed away before we were able to do this incredible work. Allison Hunter would be one, a young woman who committed suicide after learning she had CFS and was told to see a psychiatrist. And also Jerry Crum, who has donated so much to this field. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Kaufman.
Yeah.